Zelenskyy refused to sign the drafted financial agreement on mineral resources. This was agreed in principle between Trump and Zelenskyy over the phone. But something went wrong along the line. More like somebody was discouraged from following through with that deal. Zelenskyy had initially agreed to return $500 billion in natural resources back to the United States with the hope that the United States would sign a security guarantee for Ukraine in return. But after hearing about the phone call between Putin and Trump, Zelenskyy had to reevaluate his decision. On the 13th of February 2025, the United States Treasury Secretary presented the drafted document to be signed by Zelenskyy, but Zelenskyy refused to sign them. Zelenskyy said he was being unreasonably asked to sign something he hadn't had time to read. He said he considered the United States proposal one-sided. While reading the document, which meant he read them, while reading the document, he did not see a single statement or word that has to do with security guarantee, which was the reason he agreed to this deal in the first place. But he did not see a single word in regards to security guarantee. The main purpose of this mineral agreement deal was just for security guarantee. Zelenskyy is ready to sell Ukraine completely. I'm not making this up. I'm not against him. But with regard to everything that is happening right now, Zelenskyy is ready to sell the country to anybody, to any country, to any organization that can that can offer him some form of security guarantee. The European Union, on the other side, discouraged Zelenskyy from following through with that deal. I said so because I know so. Currently, there are three sides fighting for Ukrainian natural resources. This is not about the war in Ukraine anymore. The truth is finally coming up. There are three countries fighting really hard for the Ukrainian natural resources, and some of them have already started buying them. They've been exporting them already. Let us discuss them very briefly. Number one, the United States. The United States have made their intention known already, so it's not a surprise or a shock to all of us. Ukraine wants to give the United States these natural resources free of charge in exchange for a security guarantee. So basically, the United States wants 50% right to the present and the future Ukrainian natural resources. The United States also said Ukraine will enter the United States economic orbit after the war. They will privatize some of the state cooperation and cooperate in resources extraction and nuclear energy. So the EU should stop daydreaming. EU is not going to get anything. Ukraine is going to be split between the United States and Russia. United States is only going to go in there and protect their own interest, not to go fight against Russia or as a peacekeeper. No security guarantee. End of. Now we have the second country, which is the EU, an organization. The EU also wants the Ukrainian natural resources. In fact, the EU has already been taking their own from the western part of Ukraine. They have also spent billions on Ukraine during this war. And given the way Donald Trump is moving, the EU knows they will lose completely. They will not get anything back. United States will get everything. If the United States get their hands on the Ukrainian natural resources, Europe is finished. Europe is done, because the United States will get those natural resources and resell them back to the EU at a higher price and even control the EU with them. The EU knows this. EU actually fear the relationship between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. They believe there is something I'm saying all over the news called Trump-Putin dirty deal. They believe the deal between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin will break the EU. It will destabilize the European Union. So the guns are out. Everybody is now trying to get their own little bit just to survive. We know the European Union cannot provide Zelensky with money. EU is broke. They can't provide Ukraine with money. But I'm hearing this rumor flying around now. This is rumor, okay, not confirmed, that the EU are talking about providing 25,000 soldiers for Ukraine to help stabilize the front line or whatever. I don't know, like, this is rumor. But Zelensky is asking for 100,000 soldiers. But I'm hearing the rumor that EU said they can provide 25k soldiers. More likely, maybe more. Now, I don't understand how they're going to incorporate that into Ukraine. We don't know yet, but this is rumor I'm hearing that the EU are promising Zelensky about 25,000 soldiers. Now that they promised Zelensky 25,000 soldiers, more likely Zelensky is going to sell Ukraine to the EU. Trust me, he's going to sell it to the EU because United States understand the implication. United States is a superpower. They understand the implication of signing security guarantee, and they will not go there, not against Russia. So it is now a battle between the United States and the EU for Ukraine natural resources. I have to tell you this, Zelensky just signed his own death sentence. You don't go against the United States. Let me tell you something. Just wait and see. You see all the dirty secret, all the things Zelensky has done in the last few years that the United States has kept in the closet. Bet me, soon you start hearing all the negative, evil, horrible stuff about Zelensky surface in the news. You know what it is. You know how it is. You know how the United States play. You don't mess with the United States. This guy have just dug his own grave. But let's wait and see how it plays out. The third and the final country interested in Ukraine natural resources, in fact, they are already buying it, they are already exporting it to their country, is China. Russia is already selling Ukrainian natural resources to China in a large, unimaginable quantity. Business is booming. Times are good for China right now. China is enjoying everything right now. The Chinese company are already building their production facilities along every single territory Russia has taken, starting from Mariupol all the way to the front line. China is living, believe me, the more Russia are moving westward, the more land they take, the more industrial estate they take, the more natural resources they reclaim, the more happier Russia is. The more Russia will be able, China will be buying from them. So the chances of the EU or the United States getting anything at all is getting slimmer every single day. And I can tell you this, instead of the United States to allow the EU to have these natural resources, trust me, they will stand behind Russia and watch Russia take everything and then do business with Russia behind closed doors. Zelensky have just dug his own grave. What do you guys think? We now understand this war. In the last war, I said maybe in the last 3-4 months have been really interesting, isn't it? The truth is coming out. Nobody is talking about weapon anymore. Everybody is now looking for a way to get something back from what they have invested. Bad investment. But my only worry now is with Zelensky standing up against the United States. It is not going to last long. What do you think?